McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Another wonderful Wednesday afternoon to you, everyone. Thank you for once again tuning into and staying with the Real FM Radio 91.3 for the North and 91.5 South, as well as our simulcasting partner NBC Television, Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. This is The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, alongside Jaquan Joseph, our technical operator. So nice that he tells me he's making improvement. Feeling a lot better, and I hope that continues, because these days whatever bug is going around, it seesaws so much. Although he's explained his has to do maybe with something other than the funny flu that we're experiencing these days. Sometimes you think you're okay and you've pulled out of it, and then you feel symptoms, of another kind, etc., etc. If it's not the stomach, it's the throat, and that kind of thing. Continue to be careful, folks. The times are a bit weird. Very, very hot at one time, then rain showers coming at another time could be having freaky effects on you, as they have had on me. And, do take care of yourself, because I keep saying while this year is hot and humid and all of that, I'm thankful for it, because it's nothing like what it was last year. I will continue to note 2023 as being one of the worst when it comes to heat. And I think the records bear that out, that it is the worst of all the times that they've been recording temperatures and so on. But this year has its varieties, and that may have its downsides as well. All right. I hope you're having a good day so far. We're also on Facebook Live, and so good afternoon to all those of you joining us there. And we also stream live via YouTube. It's a very dangerous thing to even contemplate that we have entered into the age of people impersonating police. And it is dangerous not just for gaining access to people's homes and people opening the door for you and attending to you because they believe you are police. It is also very dangerous in that if people believe that it is something that is widespread or common, at times real, genuine police may stop you, may attempt to flag you down and, get your attention, and you may become uncooperative because you believe it could be people faking it, people impersonating cops, and then you might run away, you might try to drive through, whatever stop it is, or generally to resist police, and that can lead to some ugly showdowns and altercations and confrontations with what could be real police who may respond to your uncooperativeness with more force than would have been necessary. So let's hope this is something which is isolated, which is not something that is widespread, so that you don't have people resisting genuine police who are out there to do their work, and the cooperation that they need from us for them to do it well, for our own good, our own safety, our own benefit. So that has been something that has been running through my mind, and I'm sure running through the minds of some of us, and it's a bit worrying. People, I kind of suspect that this whole MSR Martinez thing and all of that it's losing steam. It's run out of steam. I think the people who have been promulgating it, they realize that it's going nowhere, so they will make what we might consider to be the moribund noises. Moribund meaning a word that's something that is on the point of dying, approaching death. As the old people used to say, at times when people know they've been discredited, they continue to put on some bluster and bravado out of shame, to save face. So they continue to make it look like we know we have something, but they know that it's run out of steam. But I have a word for some of them. Maybe not all of them, because they are the wolves who manipulate and even appear to be leading, and there are the sheep who, in docile credulity, tend to follow after the wolves that are leading them astray and down a path of destruction. But it is to the deceitful wolves that I am talking. When this saga is over, and it's all to all intents and purposes over, this thing is going nowhere, I can tell you. It never had any genuine things about it. It never had anything that was really true and that was going to have any legs to take it anywhere. It was always a piece of contrived malice and mischief and so on. Some of you are going to come face to face with yourselves and with your own deceitfulness, with your evil ways to attack people and to try to implicate them and incriminate them and to do all those kinds of things, when you know in your heart of hearts that the people you are doing this or attempting to do it to, that they have no kind of culpability or guilt or any kind of fault about them in the area. And I think we have already seen some of it. When one politician can do that to another member of his faith, of his denomination, of his religion, whatever, to go and to spread a story that the man's son who died so tragical, it's heartbreaking for any parent. There isn't a parent I know who enjoys or who looks forward to or who revels in having to bury one of their children. Parents always prefer that it is their children who put them in the ground and not they who have to put their children in the ground. It's always heartbreaking at any age whatsoever. You go to any household and you can find a 100-year-old and one of their children who's 75 years old has died, and you can see them, the way they hang their head in their hand and like they're thinking, and like this thing is really weighing upon them. Even at 100 years old, They can have a 75-year-old son or daughter who dies. It is so hurtful to them. I've seen it many times, growing up in the countryside. The sheer sadness that you see on the face of those people. Father's a man who is in his 40s or whatever, 50s and so on, who loses his eldest son, maybe his only son, the pride and joy of his life, who went on to become a doctor, and he feels that sense, oh my God, I've seen my son, and then for the son to just collapse and die of a heart attack or stroke or whatever it is. And for somebody else who is a brother, a member of the church, it don't matter whether you all are supporting different political parties, to go around and to be spreading a story that this man had something to do with the death of his son because he was doing some obia or something, whatever, to win election, and he sacrificed his son or whatever. This kind of story which you don't expect anybody who is a Christian believer, much less a brother of the same faith, to be saying about you. And that same individual, who paid the price, for it. He paid the price. There was a turning against him from that point. Who continues to call people all kinds of names, describing people as demon and all kinds of chebwa stories that he has about people. That same individual is again joining in dirtying people, in falsely accusing people, in vilifying people, in this CIP thing that he knows is not true. I heard that individual talking about he don't have children and this. And a lot of people don't have children. This is no curse. This is no mepwe. This is no kind of, reproach to anybody that they don't have children. But I'll tell you something, sir. I believe you read the Bible and you know many times where it is recorded that God said to certain people, your name shall be cut off from the earth, and your generations shall not extend before you. That sometimes by the will of God, some people don't have children, not just naturally or for natural causes, but by the will of God, to ensure that their name, that their memory, that their legacy, that their seed, that their progeny, that their offspring, that their descendants will never stand in the earth to carry on their name, that there's a special reason. You need to ask yourself, sir, whether you are just naturally and normally among the ranks of so many who don't have children, because I have lots of them, but I have no way of knowing whether it will take just one pandemic, whether it will just take one earthquake, one tsunami, one volcanic eruption, one plane crash, and all my descendants can be wiped out. So I am not saying anybody, but when you can go ahead after this saga with going to spread the name of a brother, a Christian brother in the church, to go and spread and to suggest or even to go and proclaim that the loss of his son had to do with some obia that he was doing. I'm sure you have no proof of those kinds of things. There are also stories about you traveling to Haiti, to go and do obia and malefice and whatever against another politician, which I have heard about. But people say all kinds of things. But when I look at you again participating, sir, in this thing with the CIP, joining your leader to go to Washington to go and meet with Martinez to get evidence from Martinez, and like I will say again and again and again, it tells you a lot about people when you see who are the ones they prefer to walk in hand, in lockstep, shoulder to shoulder with, to be the ones that are their character witnesses and so on, who will testify on their behalf. When you will go again to do this kind of thing with a man who is a certified criminal in areas of money laundering and that kind of thing, the very thing that he wants to sue in RICO Act in America for, racketeering and so on, a man who is making a case for him to be paid bribes to extract extortions out of what he says are the proceeds of corrupt kickbacks and so on. So when you continue to do that, and I'm thinking again, people, one of the folks that you all have been trying to dirty, that you all have been trying to implicate in corruption for nothing more than political reasons and personal vendetta against Ernest Hilaire, whom we had on the program yesterday, McClaude Emmanuel, when you all can seem to want to do without any compunction, without any kind of, remorse whatsoever, to go after that young man Oh, I do not put my hand in fire for people, but this McLeod Emmanuel, if there is a young man who does not have a corrupt bone in his body, it is him. If there is one person who, if he sees or has any evidence or proof of corruption, will walk away from that thing as quicker than any of the people that you have intimidated, you all have intimidated into being fearful to stay at the CIP, having Rejock to call and Martinez to call to threaten them, and some of them have quaked at the knees, which is why I said the other day, CIU, if there are any people there who want to go, who have become scaredy cat over what is happening, let them go. Pay them off, make a peaceful separation, because once you have people who are given to panicking easily, you have people who quake at the knees very easily, who begin to think that there must be something because of the confident and bold noises that they are hearing the accusers making, they are probably more of a risk and a liability to you than the people who are making the accusations. If they want to go, let them go. Have a frank talk with them. Don't try to hold on to anybody who does not believe in Project CIP and who are being affected excessively and unduly, who are not made of sufficiently stern stuff to be there. Let them go. They will end up being a greater risk and liability to you. But coming back to the point I'm making, if anybody can do this kind of thing to McLeod Emmanuel of all people and repeat it, and they know the guy is not a crooked fella, I'm telling you, you better watch out, if you have children, for your own children. I don't know Philip J. Pierce's daughter. I don't know at all. If I've ever met her, we probably said hello, and I didn't even know who I was talking to. But I don't think I know her, But McLeod Emmanuel, I know this young man. And the kind of things y'all have been throwing, the dirt y'all have been throwing at him, even his private investments, he builds apartment building, whatever. I'm sure the man must have his headache for paying his loan, his mortgage like everybody else. But he's a future-minded person. He's thinking of his children down the line. He's thinking of, okay, when all this is over, what do I have? What can I do? And so on. For you all to be going at this man's reputation, for you to be assailing his integrity the way you have. Let's say Ernest Tiller is a politician. We understand, we consider that once you enter the realm of politics and so on, you're fair game, for this and that. But McLeod Emmanuel, the way you people, and all that guy has been getting, not just in St. Lucia, but overseas, are ratings and, kudos and so on for the way the CIU is being managed, how well it is being done, where he has positioned it at the top of the ratings, is the third best in the world and so on, and all these things. And y'all are going after the guy like that. And y'all know it is not true, what y'all are doing. Y'all know it's not correct. Y'all know it's not right. But the kind of ruthlessness with which it is going, I'm telling you all, if on account of nobody else, forget Lon Theophilus, he's an ex-minister of whatever, so you can consider his political fair game. Forget, like I said this, but McLeod Emmanuel, the way you all have been going after this guy for no other reason that you consider he is a worthy collateral asset in the attack on Ernest Tiller, some of you all are going to pay for that dearly, dearly. As Richard Frederick, and you don't even need him, reminds you, there is a God who knows and sees all things, even our most secret thoughts and deeds. For you all to be going after this man like that to try to dirty him, I'm telling you, the price has begun to be paid for people who washing their tongue on others about shame. Why they make that cause their son to die and this kind of thing. Member of your own church, Member of your own church maligning you and calumnying you like this. And this thing is continuing on a young man with just as much a strong Christian background, brought up wholesomely and well by his mother. And I think for the most part as a single parent, I think his father died very young and so on. This young man has a single-minded focus and determination, worked on self-development, and wherever he has managed, even at a very young age, he has had a very developmental outlook and focus to help other people, to help them develop, to grow them. I'm sure the people at the CIP unit, in whatever way that he can develop them and advance them and upgrade them, and if there is a course that they can go on to recommend and to send them, he is that kind of person. To be trying to destroy a man like that, simply because you consider that your only chance of regaining political office is that you must absolutely calumny and malign and sully and dirty and mess up and say everything is corrupt and everything is wrong. Some of you, all of you, in ways that we cannot fathom or calibrate, in ways that are not empirical, you all must pay for it. As sure as night turns today, you all must pay for it, the things you all are doing to people. And I know in the public space it happens, but there's some people I have seen in this thing. They have absolutely no conscience. They have absolutely no heart. They have absolutely no remorse. In other words, if I have to destroy you in the most macabre way to achieve my objective, I'm going to do it. There is no pull of conscience. There is no kind of, compunction about these people and what they do. It tingles my spine. It chills me to the bone. It curdles my blood when I have seen some of the things that those people are prepared to do. You have to be a different kind of human being. You have to be a different kind of animal. Someone in whom every string of sensitivity, every string of remorse and conscience in you has been completely cauterized, desensitized for you to be able to do that to somebody. I pray God, let me never become somebody who is close to that. I often remember when I read the Bible, which I have a lot, many times, and I still continue, where this patriarch called Jacob, who was renamed Israel, after whom Israel is named as his descendants and so on, when he was pronouncing his will, on his 12 sons and so on, there are 2 of them that he said, they were too violent. He didn't want his name to be associated with them. He didn't want, because their sister had some involvement with, people that, his family didn't want to intermix with them and so on. They went and they pretended to befriend the fellas and told them, we'll accept you as family, circumcised, and we'll make you, to incorporate you into our family, only so that they could have gone while the fellas were recovering from the surgery in pain and so on, went and murdered the whole village, killed all the men in the village, and their father never forgot that. And one of his words which have always stuck with me, where he said, into their company, O my soul, do not come. In other words, Jacob is saying this to sons, I just don't want my name, my legacy, my memory to be associated with Simeon and Levi. And I'm sure if he could see what is happening in the Middle East today, the kind of things that yet Netanyahu is doing to the Palestinians, supposedly because of Hamas, he would say the same thing. This Netanyahu guy, if he is to be counted among my descendants, I want to be disassociated with him. Well, you see the kind of way you people are going out there to destroy people, to dirty their name, to do anything to achieve a political objective. Alison Jean, Dr. Janice Stanley. I'm not saying do that, but it's like, I have to totally mess you up to do. I'll totally mess you up. This kind of vindictiveness, I don't want to be associated with it. I hope it never takes a hold in me. I hope it never becomes something that, irrespective of how bitter I am with somebody, what I feel that they have done, that this kind of hatred never attaches itself to me. I don't want it. If that is the way I have to get some satisfaction of getting even with somebody, let everybody walk over me and take advantage of me. This is simply too vicious. It's too wicked. It's too evil, what I have seen. And you know what? This CIP thing, something tells me it is just the beginning. It's just the first salvo. We're going to see more of it. We're going to see a lot worse of it coming. That people can just go out and be saying those things about people. Nothing is perfect. I'm sure the CIP, Galaxy, whatever, they have their faults, they have their imperfections about them, some of them inherited. You find a project that is struggling, you find a project that is difficult to get going and so on, I'm sure, you're going to find some things about it. A lot of the things I inherited, they were okay when you all were there. It was all hunky-dory. It was all nice, cozy, chummy, macocot, kind of thing that was going on. All of a sudden, everything about it is wrong. Everything about it is evil. You welcome Galaxy to St. Lucia. You said they were the greatest things since sliced bread and so on. They were the cheesiest and nicest that you could have. And the due diligence company and everything was okay. All of a sudden, everything about it. And it's not only here, some people have to see what's going on. I am sure Timothy Harris in St. Kitts and Nevis, the former prime minister, must be looking and wondering, Is that how someone was supposed to be my friend and my colleague in the politics, whatever? You know, right now, because I'm not in power, I'm nothing that he can join with people to throw all kinds of things at me that I have to be embroiled. I'm sorry, Timothy Harris. I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong. But it's like right now, nothing is out of bounds. Nobody is in any way have any shared history so that we can say for old time's sake, I'm going to cut them some slack. No. Timothy Harris, whoever you are, Lescan, Galaxy, whatever it is, I go in after all of them. It can only mean there is a lot at stake. It can only mean that there is a lot hanging in the balance that makes people so desperate that they can basically say, man Jean, man famille, man camarade, man rien, c'est power moi vle, c'est gouvernement moi vle viande, ex n'a fait n'importe ça moi ni pour moi ça fait. N'importe moun moi ni moi détruit, n'a détruit yo pour moi ça joindre ça moins qu'à garder pour venir en gouvernement pour venir en pouvoir. It can only mean there's a lot hanging at stake there that people are prepared to do those kind of things. They destroy anybody in St. Lucia, in St. Kitts, wherever they have to take them down and take them out, they're going to do it. We have to be careful. Some people are not like us, you know. We have a tendency to judge people by ourselves. Evil thinketh as evil doeth, but also goodness thinketh as goodness doeth. There are some things you never believe some people will even think of doing to you, because you know in your heart of hearts you'll never think of doing it to them. Well, I'm telling you, time to wake up, you know. Time to wake up and don't be naive. It pays sometimes to have a little paranoid mind, you know, to be able to sit down and think the worst. Not necessarily to believe it or to act upon it. I'm told that police many times the way they are able to counter and the way they are able to bring down criminals and so on is they have to get inside their mind and think like them. If I were this guy in this case, what might I think of doing? And so sometimes they can stop them and they can preempt them. I know many times we will not ever do those things, but it is time to stop being naive and to think the worst of some people, if not the worst of the things that they will try and the things that they will do, so that you can put up your defenses and be on guard against them. Because these people, they look like nothing whatsoever. Nothing is too much for them to contemplate and to actually do to people to get what they want. The viciousness that we are seeing there, like I said, it's petering out. And we, the people, we have to stand against it and be vigilant against it. I want to tell you, don't rush ahead of your leaders, especially that leader called Philip J. Pierre. He's a man, his greatest strength is that his opponents tend to underestimate and underrate him. Let them continue to do that. I know it's not him directly who go and pick and say, I want Vanguard there, but he has a say. I think he has to approve it. You see this appointment of Vanguard? It has thrown a lot of people off balance because they were there waiting to make a fight, to make a revolution out of if Ronald Phillip, you know, was made commissioner. Oh, they were there. The news about Vanguard, it took them off guard, off balance, by surprise. And I think up to now, they can't really process. I do hope, and I have no reason to believe it won't be so, that Vanguard, Ronald Phillip, and the others in the leadership and high command of the force can collaborate and work together as they ought to. And I don't really know Ronald Phillip. I've only met him in person once at the parliament when they had, you know, the throne speech and so many different specially invited people. I went up to him to say hello. His answer was, you know, his response was rather frosty. I didn't get the impression of a very friendly guy, but it could be because of so many people around to talk to. Maybe he's just being a cop, tough as nails. They're not, you know, into this kind of, you know, chummy thing. I don't know, whatever. I didn't find him, you know, he didn't strike me as a guy. When I introduced myself, who was, you know, too friendly, it was like, okay, all right, you know, and, you know, basically. But that's not how I judge people. The guy is a cop, he's a cop. I have to say on the 2 occasions since I've been back that I think he has acted in the absence of a commissioner and so on. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but the place seemed to be, you know, a lot under control. And that's after the escalated time period where we brought in RSS people from abroad. Ronald Phillips' 10 years at the time. You know, there just seemed to be times where, you know, the crime and the lawlessness in the place, for some reason, there just seemed to be a little cap. And I was telling somebody, I don't know, does this guy have particular skills in terms of deploying his resources and his corps to certain places and so on? I find in those times things seem to be, on a level, on a quiet, on a kind of a low down and so on. So if he has those particular skills, and I'm sure others have, that they can work with the new commissioner, who I know has his own particular skills and experience and so on, I believe we have reason to be hopeful. But let me tell you this. When you see those people who have recruited Martinez and Rejock and who else to attack our country, wait on your leader, Philip J. Pierre. He's thinking it through. You see him being quiet? Hold your horses. Hold your peace. Don't go out to go and attack people if you see he not attacking and so on. Follow your leader. Wait on him. Follow his lead and so on. And the lead of those who work with him. Because he's a very studied, very methodical, very calculating, very perspicacious guy. He just don't have the bluster and the grandstanding and the guamuvma about him. Let them continue to underestimate him because of that. A lot of them who have all this bluster and showboating and grandstanding, beneath that, they're very hollow, they're very vapid, they have no substance in them, nothing of that kind. Philip J. Pierre is a completely different. I don't want to say animal. That might sound too disrespectful. But he's a completely different, caliber of resourcefulness that we have. The honor, the privilege, the blessing to have as our leader and our prime minister. For now, you can confidently follow where he leads. This is the real issues. Let's take our first break. We'll be back shortly. Jaquan? Yes.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boost your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22 next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with the real issues on this Wednesday. It is the 4th of September, 2024. And, let me just continue briefly. There's this thing again. I want to remember my late mother when she, in Creole told me, once people are out to get you, and nothing you can do to try to appease them, it's just out to get you. Just McLeod Emmanuel and the fact that the guy was shocked to see his name, appearing in some kind of lawsuit that he was wondering, what on earth is this? I am not dealing with this guy or with whatever he has to do. How does my name end up being there? And he ended up having to go to the States for some other reason and said, okay, I'll kill two birds with a stone. I'll agree to meet with the guy and to find out, why is my name in this thing? What do I have to do to get my name out of that, and so on and so forth. The people are trying to make an issue of the man attending whatever baseball. I've known the guy to be a fan of American baseball, from the time I met him more than a decade ago and so on. He loves the whole vibe about, I don't even know the names of the baseball people, whether it's Scottie Pippen or Shaq O'Neal or whatever it is and so on. He could reel them off to you. He loves this, this sort of thing. He has connections in the States, whether by dint of education himself, his wife, or whatever it is and so on. So the United States is a place where, he limes and so on, They have to put up pictures about the man attending basketball NBA thing in the States, as if everything that the man does and that every privilege and everything he treats himself to within his means and so on, that it is evidence that he is, that he's living high on the hog on the proceeds of some kind of impropriety. Go and take pictures of some building that he's putting up, whatever, to show he has so much money, blah, 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 blah. It's like when they're after you, it's after you. They are every damn thing, they try to use it against you and so on. It's a persecution kind of thing with those people. I look at that and I say, so many people who grew wealthy overnight, that no reasonable account can be given of the explosion and expansion of their wealth and so on. But a man has a car, a man takes a trip to the States, a man goes to American baseball. Some people in States every time for Labor Day, for this, for that, going to visit a dog and all kind of things like that. That's taking place. Everyone visit dog and this kind of thing and posting pictures and all. They flush with cash, they have so much of it, but still they're wasting and devouring the people's money on very expensive trips and so on to Dubai, staying in London for $8,000 our money per night, $8,500 a night for eight nights or 7 nights, $50,000 for 1 weekend. They're not responding to that. They're not talking, they're not answering to that. The weird things that they do, putting 7 million plus of our money in people's hands to go shopping for vaccines, and those people have no connection whatsoever to healthcare administration. We have all the established means, but that contempt of things St. Lucian and things Caribbean, I suppose, OECS, PPS, and CAFA and what are that, they're too low for you. They're too low. So is some kind of friend of yours who's into building and this kind of thing that you're going to take $7 million up to now? We can't get at least half of the money back and etc. etc. You're doing all this foolishness for our money. But then you're making all kinds of unfounded allegations and accusations against, and you come in and call it evidence, which is why I say evidence for those people seem to be like, the kind of cricket we used to play called wrap out. Once it hits you anywhere on your leg, on your pants or whatever, you're out because there is no rigor of leg before wicket to check the line and the tracking and whether there was a little bit of baton to it. Is you out, So any allegation that comes is evidence. And who is the allegation coming for? Convicted criminals, people who've been in jail for the very things that they're accusing people for, and they want to file lawsuit for. But you, against your own country, or what is supposed to be your own country, I have doubts about that. You coming up against your own country, scoring own goal or trying to against your country on the say-so of convicted criminals. Rap out. They make an accusation against you. That's a rap. So you're out. You corrupt. You think and say, what foolishness is that? That's the kind of foolishness we had in the office of Prime Minister. Yeah. And that's what we have in as the leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition, chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, MP for a constituency that was once for decades represented by none other than the Right Honorable Sir John Compton. That's the kind of successor to Sir John Compton that we have. That's the man who want to tell us to give him a chance to get back into the office of Prime Minister. A man who don't have respect for our own parliament to come and to come and attend and to make his contribution there and to put questions for ministers, get something on the order paper to deal with that, who can go to court just like he was going so that he don't have to face privileges committee to go and get some injunction or something or some judicial review of whatever it is that went into this and that so that he can expose what is there. Who ain't doing it because we're too low for him. We're too small for him. We're too nothing for him. It must carry some big name of connection to the American judicial system, because that is the only thing that has the augustness and the import about it, which is worthy of Mr. Alan Shastney, So he don't mind that he go into in cahoots with criminals like Martinez and Rijok, to bring cases, because that is the only thing that carries the kind of weightiness that's worthy of association with Mr. Shastney. Our parliament too low. He holds our speaker in absolute disdain and contempt and tries all kinds of things to humiliate and embarrass Claudius Francis, This is the kind of contempt that the man has for St. Lucia and things St. Lucian and Caribbean and things Caribbean. This is the kind of thing about him. Yeah. And there's some of us bigging up this fellow. Anyway, let me read something on St. Lucia Loop News. Commissioner Gad announces strategic plan to tackle crime. In his first press conference since being appointed acting police commissioner, Vern Gad announced the development of a strategic plan aimed at combating crime in St. Lucia. The plan, which will be delivered to the Prime Minister, focuses on reducing crime and tackling criminal activities through a collaborative and multi-sectoral approach. Gad, who was appointed on Monday following the retirement of former Commissioner Cressida Descartes-Pellius, expressed his commitment to addressing the challenges faced by the police force. Quote, "It is a job that I intend to do in a very organized and systematic way," Gad stated. "We have had some challenges in the past, and I'm happy to say we have now constructed a plan. It is my intention to present this to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia to address the reduction of crime and other criminal activities." End of quote. Gad emphasized the importance of a united effort in fighting crime, calling for collaboration across various sectors of society. Quote again, "Generally, it is my opinion that we should have a collaborative approach toward crime reduction. A multi-sectoral approach is necessary," end of quote, he added. The announcement of this strategic plan marks a significant step in the ongoing efforts to address crime in St. Lucia, and he has emphasized that public cooperation is key toward the execution of the intended plan. Gad says the proposal will be delivered to Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre on Monday. Bravo with that. And, I wish you the best, Commissioner Gad. And I wish the best to those who work with you, and that whatever the hiccups and snafus and those little differences and so on in the past, they may not be so little after all, but I just hope that you can overcome them. There's another video that I see about a 15-year-old boy fatally gunned down steps from Toronto police station, and the person who sent it has added a little note saying that the young boy is from St. Lucia. People, it is no excuse, but crime is a problem everywhere. Something unprecedented happened in Antigua recently, where the Prime Minister felt that the crime problem, the shootings and all, was so out of control that he arranged for him and other members of his constituency and government to sit and to arrange meetings with gang leaders and gang members in at least two of the very heavily affected constituencies, his own of St. John's City West, where I used to work and live and so on, and another one across the bay, St. John's Harbour, called St. John's Rural West, where there's the Grays Farm and Grays Green and Perry Bay and Harton communities and so on, where crime is a problem in these places. The Prime Minister actually had a sit down with gang members to talk to them and to say, look, we need to pull back from this thing. People criticize him for it. You will get others are very supportive. One of them is the Two Drilly gang, of City West. That's his constituency. And another gang that actually calls itself, the Grays Farm Killers. They actually call themselves the Grays Farm Killers. And the crime problem has reached such a point that Gaston Brown, the Prime Minister, actually had a sit down with them. Their crime figures are not nearly, in terms of homicides, what ours. Their population is not nearly what ours is. The size of the country is not nearly, what ours. But people, the crime problem in America, when I read the news, every time there is a shooting, there is something, some sportsman or whatever player, recently some guy wanted to take his Rolex watch, just walks up to him and shoots him. The person the shooter actually shoots himself in the process, Apparently either he can't handle the struggle, whatever. He ends up shooting himself. People are shooting people, stabbing people all over. It's a craze on trains, at train stations, underground subway stations, all over. Look at what has happened in the UK, the kind of riots that they had there. Why? Because of some people who are from overseas and were Muslim connected, killed a couple of people. And the right-wing people in the UK just went absolutely berserk on that. It's all over the world. It's been there for a while, but it's like now there's a casualness with which people attack people and stab and shoot and chop people. There's a craziness in people now. A craziness. And it is in St. Lucia. It appears to be getting worse in some instances and so on, because there seems to be so much impunity of people doing those things and knowing they'll get away. So let's play the video about that 15-year-old boy of St. Lucian parentage, we are told, who was shot just steps, we are told, from a police station in Toronto, Canada. It's not a capital, but it's probably the largest city or whatever, the most well-known and so on in Canada. The actual capital is Ottawa, really, but who doesn't know Toronto? Just the same way like Washington, D.C. is the capital of the U.S., but who will not think it's New York? Because everybody in New York is the bum. Toronto is the bum where Canada is concerned. Let's play the video, Jaquan.
You deserve to die like that. You deserve to die like that. Never.
Shot and killed the night before the start of a new school year.
A 15-year-old boy, the victim of gun violence in Toronto. Good evening. Family and friends have identified the young murder victim as Mario Giddings.
Police say multiple rounds were fired in what investigators say was a targeted attack. CTV's Sean Leithong joins us live from the scene near Black Creek and Trethewey Drives. Sean.
Michelle and Nathan, targeted but also quite brazen, this happening just before 8 o'clock last night. To give you a sense of where some of the shots were fired, if you look over my left shoulder into the Tim Hortons, just to the right of the garbage can, that is one of the bullet holes that's covered up by a sticker. Moving along this way, you can see roughly behind that truck that's pulling by, there's a large red sticker there, more bullet holes there. Then behind me, there's a pizza place, had a bullet hole through the front, and then beyond that, to my right, there was a car parked last night that had a bullet hole inside there. So it's the idea that a daylight shooting, many of these stores open, and those who open fire seem to not care who was here.
15-year-old Mario Giddings was supposed to start grade 11 at Weston Collegiate Institute this morning.
but he was shot and killed yesterday in the parking lot of this plaza.
I want justice for him. I want the police, because if there is camera, they have to arrest that person that do that to him, because he didn't deserve to die like that.
Fortunata Giddings was the victim's aunt and guardian. She's been looking after Mario for 5 years as his parents live in St. Lucia. She says they live in the apartment building next door. She saw paramedics giving Mario CPR, but didn't know it was him.
I could not believe that I am there looking at he's dying and I don't know it's him. I do not know. I don't know. He just called me and then my daughter called me and then saying something happened, Maria's on the ground. Maria just gets shot.
It was 7:45 last night when police were called into the plaza at Black Creek Drive and Trethui Drive for reports of a shooting. Witnesses say there were multiple shots. Today, broken glass remains, a car with a bullet lodged in the door, the glass of a Tim Hortons with bullet holes covered over, and one bullet went through the window of Tudo's Pizza House, through the counter, and shattering the glass of the refrigerator.
Some bang, 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 bang. I think the firework.
Owner Tom Dew was standing a meter from the fridge where the bullet hit. He says 2 young kids were sitting at a nearby table.
No, I see 3 cars running away. I see bang, bang, and 3 cars running.
Police say a black sedan was seen fleeing. Fortunata Giddings said Mario was afraid to go to school because he'd been in a fight and feared being found.
He afraid to go there because I think they had a fight there with a few of them. And then he telling me, oh, you have to look for another place for me to go to school because those boys will come back to me.
Tanya John says her sons were close friends with Mario, and she says there had been trouble with a group from another neighborhood.
Nowhere wrong is safe right now because the kids that living on Western, the Western Road, the whole of Western Road, are beefing with the kids around here.
John says she went to the CNE yesterday with her kids and thought about taking Mario.
I was driving, I wanted to turn back. I wish I did turn back and wake him up and just tell him, come go with us. Come and go and ride on some ride and have some fun. Yesterday it was the worst time of my life. I enjoy myself with my kids, but at the end it was just so sad. It was just so sad.
For much of the day today, people have been coming by and paying their respects to Mario Giddings, some walking away while wiping tears. Obviously, a lot of heartbreak in this area for this young man. Reporting live, I'm Sean Leathong. Nathan and Michelle, send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Sean.
He deserve to die like that. He doesn't deserve to die like that. Never.
Shot and killed the night before the start of a new school year.
A 15-year-old boy, the victim of gun violence in Toronto. Good evening. Family and friends have identified the young murder victim as Mario Giddings.
Police say multiple rounds were fired in what investigators say was a targeted attack. CTV's Sean Leathong joins us live from the scene near Black Creek and Trethui Drives. Sean.
Michelle and Nathan, targeted but also quite brazen, this happening just before 8 o'clock last night. To give you a sense of where some of the shots were fired, if you look over my left shoulder into the Tim Hortons, just to the right of the garbage can, that is one of the bullet holes that's covered up by a sticker. Moving along this way, you can see roughly behind that truck that's pulling by, there's a large red sticker there, more bullet holes there. Then behind me, there's a pizza place, had a bullet hole through the front, and then beyond that, to my right, there was a car parked last night that had a bullet hole inside there. So it's the idea that a daylight shooting, many of these stores open, and those who open fire seem to not care who was here. 15-year-old Mario Giddings was supposed to start grade 11 at Weston Collegiate Institute this morning, but he was shot and killed yesterday in the parking lot of this plaza.
I want justice for him. I want the police, because if there is camera, they have to arrest that person that do that to him, because he didn't deserve to die like that.
Fortunata Giddings was the victim's aunt and guardian. She's been looking after Mario for 5 years as his parents live in St. Lucia. She says they live in the apartment building next door. She saw paramedics giving Mario CPR, but didn't know it was him.
I could not believe that I am there looking at he's dying and I don't know it's him. I do not know. I don't know. He just called me and then my daughter called me and then saying something happened. Maria's on the ground. Maria just gets shot.
It was 7:45 last night when police were called into the plaza at Black Creek Drive and Trethui Drive for reports of a shooting. Witnesses say there were multiple shots. Today, broken glass remains, a car with a bullet lodged in the door, the glass of a Tim Hortons with bullet holes covered over, and one bullet went through the window of Tudo's Pizza House, through the counter, and shattering the glass of the refrigerator.
Some bang, 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 bang. I think the plywood.
Owner Tom Dew was standing a meter from the fridge where the bullet hit. He says 2 young kids were sitting at a nearby table.
No, I see 3 cars running away. I see bang, bang, and 3 cars running.
Police say a black sedan was seen fleeing. Fortunata Giddings said Mario was afraid to go to school because he'd been in a fight and feared being found.
He afraid to go there because I think they had a fight there with a few of them. And then he telling me, oh, you have to look for another place for me to go to school because those boys will come back to me.
Tanya John says her sons were close friends with Mario, and she says there had been trouble with a group from another neighborhood.
Nowhere wrong is safe right now because the kids that living on Western, the Western Road, the whole of Western Road, are beefing with the kids around here.
John says she went to the CNE yesterday with her kids and thought about taking Mario.
I was driving, I wanted to turn back. I wish I did turn back and wake him up and just tell him, come go with us. Come and go and ride and have some fun. Yesterday it was the worst time of my life. I enjoy myself with my kids, but at the end it was just so sad. It was just so sad.
For much of the day today, people have been coming by and paying their respects to Mario Giddings, some walking away while wiping tears. Obviously a lot of heartbreak in this area for this young man. Reporting live on.
All right, so folks, we played it twice. I mean, this is just so sad. And when the news reached me, I remembered this young man, Melchizedek Tixie of Blanchard, Deriso, shot inside his own home, from what we are told by assailants who, we don't really know the circumstances, but word is that it's someone else in the family they came for, his elder brother or something of that kind. Someone has been arrested and charged, I think. I remember the name. I think he's been formally charged, otherwise his name won't be out there. Is that the name Macaulay Simeon or something of that kind? But I mean, this is just so sad, and it can happen anywhere. It's happening everywhere and so on. I hope we can get some kind of handle on it, because just look at that report about this young man being shot dead in Canada. You know, it's like the people who shooting, they don't care, you know. Bullet pass through the front, you know, glass showcase or whatever of a restaurant, goes inside, you know, hits whatever that's on the counter, passes through, goes and hits a fridge door, glass fridge door, and shatters it, and you know, whoa. Haven't we heard that same thing so many times here in St. Lucia about bullets fired at one person hitting somebody else? You know, people have died like that in St. Lucia. And a lot of the people who involved in it, they've been to those countries, you know. Some of them are deportees, some of them, they learn the ways and they come back and so on. The guns keep coming in. We don't seem to be able to stop them because the ease with which they get them and use them, etc. All the people who shouldn't have guns, they have it. The people who apply to it for the lawful process, they get turned down. It takes a long, long time before they can get it. It's all kind of difficulties. So we outgunned, you know. Not just the police, the citizenry is outgunned, you know. It's the baddies who have all the guns and the bullets and so on, and, you know, absolute impunity and freedom to operate. I hope we can begin to see a more comforting difference as we move forward. Yeah. Let's take a break. When we come back, the phone lines will be open for your calls and your messages.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The
487-9849 is the line on which you can WhatsApp call us on 4533-911. The telephone lines are open. In an age where so many are going to their graves very young and not going down to their graves in peace, by which I mean not dying from natural causes of illness or anything like that, it is not any more comforting, but at least, I think we can relate more to the natural course of life and so on, that people go the way of all flesh. Mr. A.F. Valmore, Arnott F. Valmore, died after midnight, shortly after midnight, we're told, today at the age of 104 years. May he rest in peace. And I have to say, I have a far greater sense of peace myself when I know of people going to their graves after living a long, full life at a ripe old age, as Mr. Valmore has done, following such a tremendous contribution that he has made to business life in St. Lucia. And to his family, I say my condolences, and I'm sure many more extend the same. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good day, Shelton.
Yeah, good day to you.
I'm the first caller. Good. Yeah, I sympathize with the Valmore family. I mean, that's a great... He contributed a lot to St. Lucia, business-wise, so... And then also the family of this young man. I mean, that is really heartbreaking, for this young man to lose his life so callously. So, like they say, crime is everywhere, so there's nothing, So, and I'm also congratulating the new police commissioner. I mean, I wish him well, coming to a job like that. It comes with his challenges and stuff, but I think with his experience and expertise, he'll be able to handle himself very well.
Okay.
Yeah, Shelton, and also with all that nonsense, I mean, these guys will never stop. I recall you in your preamble, you said you read the Bible well. You know the story in Esther where Mordecai and Haman, when he built that stuff,
yes,
intending to hang his enemy, and it ended up it was used for him.
Mm-hmm.
So it is said, whosoever diggeth a pit shall fall in it. And like they say, let them carry on whatever they're doing. Yes, in the end, yes, everything will come out to the light. I mean, those with eyes to see, let them see. The truth will reveal the things that are evil.
Okay, all right.
Punishing people's names and they're doing all these things, everything will come back to them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what I want to share today. Okay, sir.
All right,
have
thanks.
a good one. Bye.
Yeah, we continue taking your calls, 487-9849 and 4533911. Someone sent a message saying this is the same guy, Joseph, who told Miguel that he is not speaking to ex-convicts. Go clear your conviction. Yes, guy goes to speak to convicted felon like Martinez. And that's true. You look at a reporter here and you allude to his brushes with the law and problem he has had with the law, and you tell him you're not talking to criminals or to convicts or whatever, but you can go up to Washington to go and talk to Martinez. Well, what is Martinez? Whatever Miguel did, is it nearly or anywhere close to the scale of what Martinez has been jailed for in both America and France? I'm hold on, caller, hold on for me. Okay. You know what is this nonsense about, this double standard? Miguel, whom you're treating like that, but Martinez, who you don't know, who's fundamentally a stranger to you, can go all the way to go and prostrate yourself before him in Washington on the basis that he has evidence. What evidence? If it's evidence, then wait for your day in court. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
Let me tell you, that hotel at the back of Point Surfing, I realized the project stopped.
A hotel at the back of where?
Point Surfing.
Okay.
That's Aaron Chasnati. Can you check on that for me?
Okay, hotel at the back of Point Seraphine. I think I know that.
Point Surfing there.
I think I saw some construction taking place there.
Yeah, the hotel. That's a hotel.
Okay, whose hotel is whose hotel is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
So that's your homework.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Alan Shasney needs also to tell us what projects he was able to bring to completion, construction, infrastructural, hotel projects that he was able to bring to completion. I see UWP wants to take credit for the Laguerre school, the new smart school at Laguerre. But, their credit is that the groundbreaking ceremony or whatever took place in April 2021. You want to tell me a project of that magnitude and so on? The credit you claim for being the ones who delivered it is that the groundbreaking took place, how many months before? 4 months before, 3 months before you were voted out of office and so on. So you are to be given the credit and so on, when everything else in terms of bringing it to completion and to fruition is the successor government. I find there's that childish, almost comical thing about UWP, about wanting to jump and say, we should get the credit for that, we should get the credit for Julian Alfred, because we gave her $200, this kind of thing. I don't know, it just seems so pathetic for what is supposed to be an august, what is supposed to be, an avant-garde, kind of man and leader and so on, a first worldly wise man who is from a socio-economic background that should be revered, and his education and this, and who always tries to portray himself as somebody who's so well attuned to Americanism that he can explain and tell us what will annoy America and what will cause our visa to be revoked. A guy who's always speaking for America. That's what I also why Alan Chasney always feel that he is the one to come and speak for America and explain and interpret America for us and so on, Do some explaining and interpretation of Miku South now. Let us say you'll be doing some more advocacy for your constituency and what's going on. But you have to be ashamed. You have to be ashamed what you did to opposition constituencies when you were prime minister, and to see that, the people you did that, they're not doing it to you. You have funds, you have this, you have that. So you probably know that regardless of whether you commit this shirking, this dereliction of your duty as the MP for Miku South, that the government will not let the people of Miku South suffer. They'll do the roads as they can. They'll do the playing fields. They'll fix up what needs to be fixed, and they'll do them. So you can afford to be the Pamela don't care guy that you are where Miku South is concerned, and to preoccupy yourself with things American and things Trump and things visa and visa free. Is always a talk about we lose our visa, we lose our correspondent banking. America will be upset with us. America will bring the axe and the hammer down on us. It's always an American, like if some kind of American emissary to deliver American threats to us, which America themselves are not delivering to us. So go and run for politics in America and leave us alone, man. Go and run for politics. Well, you won't have a prayer of a chance anyway. Is here alone you can come with, the Chasney old money and so on, and you can come and, throw it around and fool around, and no election time you can go and, vaguely people with some heavy spending and so on. In America, you'd hold no regard in America or in Canada. Mischief alone you can do against your little country that already has so many odds stacked against it because of its smallness, because of its so-called third worldness, and you adding to it on and joining with people to try to crush this little country that has all its challenges. How we can ever forget that and forgive you for that? It beats me, it boggles my mind. We have a call on the line. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Shelton. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing okay.
I just want to express my condolences to the Valmo family. I was one of his employees way back.
Speak up. You started speaking okay, and then you drop your voice.
Oh, I said I just wanted to convey my condolences to the
Valmo family. You're an ex-employee.
I actually was an ex-employee of Valmo, of the Valmo Bank. I also want to extend my condolences to the family who lost that young man into.
Speak up. You're speaking okay, and then you drop in your voice.
Oh, I'm not sure if it's.
No. You drop in your voice. It's a habit some people have. Go ahead. Hold the voice up. Yes.
I also want to extend my condolences to the family of the young man who died in Toronto by gun violence.
Yes.
Really sorry to hear about that. Shelton, I've been listening to you, and I cannot help but agree with you on quite a few points that you have made, right?
Yeah.
It's just amazing to see how the leader of the opposition, someone who wants to regain...
Keep the voice up, don't drop it.
Yes.
It's amazing to see how the leader of the opposition, what?
Someone who wants to regain the seat of power in this country again. And to see the actions that he has been, undertaking in the past few weeks and months. But I am a firm believer that unless the leader of the opposition can come and speak to a lot of those issues that have been raised, we have to keep up those events very current to the fore. Stuff like the $2,000 pounds per night that he spent in UK for about a week. The
renting of properties that are owned by his family with himself as a shareholder to the government of St. Lucia. You understand?
Definitely. If the leader of the opposition can day in, day out, with him and his surrogates can day in, day out come and spew stuff that is just unfounded, that is, libelous, that is defamatory, that is unfounded, we also can keep speaking to the facts, the undeniable facts of the 13 apartments that that has been rented in his
name. Tell us about conflict of interest and integrity in public life.
Definitely. Tell us about Carbot. We have to give Carbot. We have to give that Fiat, the Diamond Fiasco, the Cayman Islands.
Tell us about the very same CIP. Why the servers and the database was erased to remove certain things that were evidence. Tell us about what he found in the same galaxy that he gave such a rousing, endorsement of them and how they were great and they checked out everything with them. What has changed now with Galaxy? Tell us those things.
I agree with you, Sheldon. If he can come day in, day out, go on talk shows, day in, day out, travel to New York, day in, day out, and continue on that vein, I believe the onus is on us to keep alive and at the fore all those monies that he paid to his brothers-in-laws for no vaccines, and yet we are yet to receive vaccines and yet to receive the balance of the money. Tell us we have to keep to the for the money. The wanton wastage that was paid to Ernst & Young, that was paid to them to prepare our budget, and our same civil servants had to go back and correct the fiasco that was created by them.
Come and explain to us what it is that Ernst & Young did that was better, that was an improvement over what the people, the economists and the technical people in the Ministry of Finance had been doing for decades.
Definitely. Tell us why the subvention, the mega subvention that was stopped to Julian Alfred. Come and tell us about that. Tell us about why is it that the construction of St. Jude was stopped, right? Was stopped for the first 3 years in office. And the many other construction projects that he stopped. If he can day in, day out go on talk shows and platforms and use social media to do that type of rubbish, I believe the onus is on us as well to keep those things alive, keep it in the airwaves, and for him to one day, when he cannot take it again, if he so fails, to come and talk on those issues. Because I cannot understand for a man who claims the opposition, when he got into power, the opposition has lost their rights to speak, as if it's some slave boy, a slave that have no right of freedom, no right of voice, no right of, for him to have said that, and now
he seems like he wants to dictate policy. The man behaves like he wants to govern when he was in government, and he wants to govern when he's in opposition. He wants to tell the government of St. Lucia how to deal with Galaxy and Lescan and so on, when you dealt with them and you gave them, flying colors and full marks and so on.
Yes, we need to, because this is just ridiculous now, and this is just pure ridiculous nonsense. And like many people have said, I heard your caller, he who diggeth a pit shall fall in it. Don't worry. Vous savez comment on toujours do Shelton. Kodlaki plilong in your boot. Kodlaki plilong in your boot. Now on another note, Shelton, I just want to mention two things here. Shelton, I want to implore and applaud and advise our drivers on the road to please stop the lawlessness we see on the road day in, day out. To please drive safely, think of others on the road, think of your very family, your very self, school children, to stop the type of reckless speeding that we have on the road that is causing problems with vehicle insurance. You might have heard the insurance company now that is no longer
and more of them going to cut their losses. It
is creating a strain on the health sector, because all of those things now have to be brought to the health services, and we have to now.
It's a strain on all of us, because the insurance companies that remain to underwrite and agree to continue to insure, they're going to raise premiums.
Raise premiums.
And all of us going to feel it.
Not just that, Channel. We have a situation where those persons lose days of work, those persons lose schooling, and it is a domino effect. We need, and I applaud the powers that be to please take some time, our traffic department, to at least show your presence, make your presence known, make your presence felt, so that type of carnage we see on the road. Sheldon, can you imagine obeying all the traffic laws, obeying all the traffic rules, and some crazy guy from nowhere just come and
smash into you, fracture your hip, lose your leg, you're in all kinds of problems, and only to find that this idiot doesn't have any insurance, so you can't get
doesn't have driver's license. Can you imagine?
I know.
That's my worst fear of being on the road every day, Sheldon. And I can tell you, I the amount of near misses that happen on a regular basis, I just fear that one day the unforgivable, the unwanted thing just may happen because of some ridiculous, crazy person.
And not only that too, the whole principle of retaliation. Can you imagine you go and pick up your daughter or whatever from school, and you're driving, you're obeying all the rules, and some guy comes out of nowhere, smashes into your vehicle and kills your child, or you see your child there bleeding and smashed up and so on. It's only a matter of time before at some point, some people, somebody will not be able to fathom it and to take it. I'm not asking for it to happen.
No,
you know?
no, we're not asking for
But
it.
you don't know who might pull their cutlass or their gun because they just cannot, process what's happening there,
But Shelton, had the biggest joke. You remember not too long ago that crazy ass driver that popped the wheel and
yeah.
Can you imagine that same very day I was picking up my son from school, and right on the pedestrian when I was about to cross with my son, right on the pedestrian crossing the road. Can you imagine what the biker did? The vehicle stopped for us to cross, but a crazy ass biker just vroom past us on the pedestrian.
Yeah.
He nearly hit us by, by.
That's the point, somebody stopped for you to let you cross the road. You crossing, don't just cross, when you reach the edge of the vehicle that stopped for you, poke out your head a little bit and watch, because somebody coming right around, they don't care. And I tell you,
Shelton, but this is what I did. If we had not done that, the man would make a mess of me and my son right there on the pedestrian crossing. That same very day.
Yeah.
Now tell me.
And sometimes they cussing you when they pass. Oh, 5-year-old people are watching where you're going, Yeah.
My brother is not curse alone. It's the type of curse words and insults they gave as if. Shelton, I want to implore the powers that be to do what they have to do, make the presence felt, and try to at least be a deterrent to some of those type of drivers that can come one day and write you off and leave your family, your bills, your mortgage, your
and I tell you, and they themselves have no insurance whatsoever that you can get any kind of compensation from. Anyway, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, y'all have heard me saying that a lot, that all this zero tolerance against crime. We have to fight crime in all its manifestations. We have to attack antisocial behavior across all its expressions. And I believe that one of the very fertile, productive, waiting to be dealt with, needing to be dealt with, urgent areas is the lawlessness on the roads. That if you can bust a lot of the people who are being lawless on the road, whether it is speeding, whether it is driving without insurance, without license, without registration, if you can make a dent in them, you may even inadvertently be busting other forms and worse forms of criminality. Because once you see people have reached the stage where they can take somebody's life so heartlessly and so on, things like what they do on the roads are small potatoes for them. A person who has killed somebody, don't take chances with them. Raping is nothing for them. They have gone to the outer limits of criminality in taking somebody's life. Sometimes when you bust one of those lawless drivers, you don't know what else you might be netting and snagging in the process. The unlicensed gun, the record, the fingerprint might show up something. And also, I believe if it's not already happening, those lawless bikers, it's only a matter of time before they organize themselves into criminal gangs in order to shield and protect one another because they know the lawlessness of no insurance, whatever that they're operating under. We have a call on the line. Hi, good afternoon. Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Hey, what's up?
I'm all right. How you doing?
What you working on for Journée Creole? What kind of song you'll be releasing?
I don't get involved in Creole song competitions. Not for anything other than...
You're not so good at the Creole. Go ahead.
Whatever. If that makes you happy. Yeah, Shelton, I just wanted to speak about the criminality, man. They're burying that young boy today. Today's his funeral, not too far from me.
Who's that, Melchizedek?
Yes. At the Victory Pentecostal Church, and I cannot begin to imagine the anguish of the family, the father, okay? The child did not put himself in that, and the father has lost his companion, the person who used to walk with him, take him around when he needed to be taken around, okay? And you're telling me somebody will be for that? Whether they get the criminal or not, somebody will be for that.
And somebody has been charged, right?
somebody has been charged.
Okay.
Yes. But then that person is going to go on the hill, take endless sea breeze. They're going to feed him food, and it's going to take them easy years before that matter actually goes to court. You understand? I don't know. Sometimes I don't want to say the crazy things that come to my head. And then you have them shooting a 15-year-old of Lucian parentage, you know, in Toronto, Canada, you know, and it's young people perpetuating this.
And you know the thing, Cornelia. There was a time when we grew up, we used to get into fights. Like you fight somebody's of where they points Okisa, and then you settle it. And nowadays, the boy was in a fight. You have to watch. You have to watch over your shoulder. You have to watch your back, because they're not coming to say to put a couple punches on you. It's to kill you.
Now, Shelton, it's not even that. Huh? They're in a fight, and you're not in the fight with them, but you become a potential victim because you're related to the people in the fight, or the person in the fight.
Yeah.
That is even scarier, and, it's like we just don't get it. We just don't get it. Fathers afraid of fathering, mothers afraid of mothering. They figure they have more time for other things than they do for their children. And then we sit and we shout and we say the government have to do this and the government have to do that. But after government has passed legislation, whose responsibility it is to uphold the law? Whose? You understand?
Yes.
Government have to now go and sit in court and tell the magistrate or the judge to do what you're supposed to do. Because when a man is arrested on a gun possession charge and he is bailed and he is re-arrested on another gun possession charge and he is still bailed, and then he comes out and he is shot. Whose fault is it? Government? Government. We have to take our responsibilities and take it seriously. And me, as a mother, okay, my children not involved in that life. They're not involved in that life, but I am feeling it because I cannot begin to imagine what a parent, and you telling me a man being shot at last year, he survived, and this year, okay, emboldened people, emboldened criminals.
I heard this is the third gun attack on the man,
Dressed like police, go into his mother's house and say they are the police. They walk in order the two people. You see a pregnant. Because Shelton, these people believe if the police miss them, that God is going to miss them. And you shoot at a man in the presence of his pregnant girlfriend and the presence of his mother. Did you even stop for a moment to think about the impact of that action on all three of them? Yes, you want one person dead, but you left two people alive who are going to be traumatized.
And there's no telling if they went away and didn't say to themselves, boy, should we have left that mother and that girlfriend alive? You don't think they might recognize us later? You never know if they will not, on second thought, come back to clean them up,
And I'm saying, my goodness, and then again, you cannot trust the police to give them information. I hope Mr. Vungard can make a dent in this.
Yeah.
I hope.
Okay.
I want to congratulate him on his appointment. We had Mr. Pierre being a screwdriver and screwing tight the screw that they thought they would have used against him, by announcing Vungard when they anticipated the other Phillips screwdriver, So we have to look at it from all angles, and we have to take charge of a lot of things in this country.
Okay.
Government provides the what is needed for the police to be run properly. Let us hope that those square pegs in round holes in the police force shall be removed, relocated, readjusted, and they understand that what is critical to this country is the solution of crime.
Okay.
Period.
All right. 2 o'clock is upon us. We have to leave it at that. Thank you so very much. And thank you very much, Jaquan, for upon returning, continuing where you left off with the handling the controls and the calls. Let's do it again tomorrow, same time. Maybe we can have a little chat about the special prosecutor. Apparently, there are a lot of people who had expectations about, being brought up to date if where the special prosecutor is at, what he's doing. But we have to sign out now. Goodbye till tomorrow.
The winning numbers for the midday draw of Wednesday, 4th September 2024 were Double Daily Grand, 11, 13, 16, 18. Big 4, 4, 6, 6, 7. The Big 4 multi-expo drawn is 2x. Pick 2, 3, 1. The Pick 2 multi-expo drawn is FP. 1 off, 6, 1, 7. Lucky 3, 9, 9, 3. The Lucky 3 multi-expo drawn is FP.
Now the man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no